Oh, this subject is has been trending as of late, um, mostly due to this whole newfound kind of celebrityism from many people who, like myself, are attempting to get out and entertain, inform, and enlighten others. Um, and what made me really stand out on this one, as a brother of color, trying to be at least positive in theory, is the reality that this little youngin uh, um, really had me on mixed emotions from the get-go. Because while I enjoyed a lot of the things that he was saying, there were little bits and pieces of things that I didn't agree with. And, you know, um, it only takes but so long before, what's done in the dark comes to the light. And once you decide to put yourself out on Front Street in the celebrity realm, you become fair game. And if you're not walking the walk or talking the talk and really honestly being, the brand that you claim to be, then sooner or later things are going to come for you and people are going to come for you. And right now, it's his time again. Now, there's been rumors and whatnot about all that, and I'm not one to go and bash any brother trying to get out here, this, that, and the other. Yeah, the flesh could be weaker, this, that, and the other, but technically speaking, this don't make no sense. This don't make no sense on the mere fact that I've went over to his page, and what I really was concerned the most about is damage control. Damage control. And the mere fact that in the case of damage control, what really sets kind of wrong with me in this whole thing is the mere fact that it's been 2 days that this subject has been trending about an incident that basically has come out about something that went down, around his birthday and 4th of July and whatnot, in the midst of a lot of the other things that a lot of people were unaware were going on maybe in his own household. But what stands out the most is this. What stands out the most is a post that he made that they brought back up. I've got some sound clips from a couple of the other posts that I just checked out, but where he adamantly professed that if you are married and you are separated, he said that I believe that if you're married and you're separated and you sleep with someone else, you're cheating. If you're gonna be with somebody else and get a divorce and stop playing around in between in that gray area. But I didn't really quite feel his advice, and yet and still it revisited itself up in what now has become a scandal, into which for all intents and purposes, on this online game, damage control is very important. And right now, the mere fact that a person who broadcasts daily has been MIA for the past 2 or 3 days, and and everybody's sitting around waiting bated breath, trying to not necessarily go all the way like a lot of his other haters or whatnot have decided to already go with the dish. I mean, they've got videos, they got names, they've got locations, and they're threatening about coming in with pictures and this, that, and the other for this dude who only set himself up for exactly what it is. Yeah, you're right. You're right, King. This is really irking me It's irking me as a black man trying to profess some positivity, trying to inform or enlighten or entertain our people and others, trying to walk the walk and at least be a positive influence in what we provide out here. Now, I'm not anywhere close to all these other people that are out there. I don't have all of these things set up. I'm still working on a free kind of thing. And for that reason, let me just remind you, this is WNDC NDC. WNDC NDC stands for We in the Crib, and you ain't NDC in my crib. So this is what I got, and this is where I'm coming from. And this Derrick Jaxn thing is really irking me because, I really want to really cheer for whatever few black positive images we have, even if it's not really totally all, something, at least be doing something, but they're coming for him, and if any of this, if anybody really is, I'm trying to get my Instagram up and running too as I'm doing all this. I don't know why I need to be greedy about the whole thing, but it is what it is. Now, in the process of this, I just also want to note that the background music is being provided to me with permission. Therefore, it is fair use. I don't want to hear no mess from anyone that wants to question that. Yeah. And you're right. You're right, King. And what you're saying is just the mere fact that, there's a lot of people who bit the apple, who took a lot of his advice. I even took a lot of the advice. I even found some gems in a lot of the things that, he kind of said, and yet here we are watching, this thing go down like that. And yo, it's, it's really irking me right now because let's see what I can find for because.
One can hardly assume men do all this for pleasure and without feeling a desire for change. They do it because they've been manipulated into doing it. Their whole life is nothing but a series of conditioned reflexes, a series of animal acts. A man who is no longer able to perform these acts, whose earning capacity is lessened, is considered a failure. Indeed, he stands to lose everything. Wife, family, home, his whole purpose in life. All the things, in fact, which give him security. Of course, one might say that a man who has lost his capacity for earning money is automatically freed from his burden and should be glad about this happy ending. But freedom is the last thing that he wants. Indeed, he stands to lose everything. Wife, family, home, his whole purpose in life. All the things, in fact, which give him security. Of course, one might say that a man who has lost his capacity for earning
is what's
money
really getting me because, see, I'm feeling for this young brother. If any of this has got any form of truth to it at all, just for the mere fact,
we shall see later, according to the principle of pleasure and non-freedom. To be sentenced to
what goes on in the dark comes to the light, but
be sentenced to a life
in the process
slavery.
of all of this, you just can't,
way,
do what seems to be dirty. If this poor child and a few others are anywhere close
Chapter 3.
to, if any of them are anywhere close to being accurate, and their insinuations and allegations that this boy's been not necessarily practicing what he preached. And there's kids, there's wives, there's families, there's other people who basically have been following this person and believing that this person is showing him the right way. But this ain't church. This ain't like we can just give him the forgiveness card just because, give him the forgiveness card just because, well, the Lord, just this, that, and the other. He broke the code. You're right. He broke the code, and therein lies where the whole thing is. He done broke the code. And if this is really honestly an offense, then technically speaking, I really feel sorry for the brother having to go by way that a lot of other people have when they've been found to be, found wanting. But, I think I need to share some of the bits and pieces of the things that were said earlier in the other broadcast that really stand out the most in a lot of what's really, going on in this whole Derrick Jaxn struggle. With so far a lack of damage control. And if he don't come back hot with something with his wife and whoever this other person is, to unequivocally, admit and then fix it. And I mean, fix it, Jesus, fix it. Because, it's not just so much about fixing it with his wife, but he's got to fix it with every person that he's also led and stray into this whole situation. And that is what really gets me the most right now. Because, see, everything really lands on his next broadcast.
What is woman? A woman is, as we have already said.
Okay. Can you send me those videos and pictures? I am so ready for you. Have no idea, girl. Like, I have been watching this motherfucker live. There's another one I'm working on too, but it's gonna come in due time.
I mean,
but
even in you saying that.
Yeah, it's flat for me because he even sent a preview like back in December. Mind you, we dealt with each other in July of last year. So December, he had made a video where he was talking about, one of my homegirls asked me, what should I do if I'm technically married but separated? Should I, enjoy my life? He's like, what I would say, no. He's like, and not to say that you can't enjoy your life off the separation, but I just feel like in a marriage, you have to, if you're separated, it has to be fully over. Like, he was talking his shit, and I was like, no, the fuck he did not.
I'm going to put that video in there. If you can send me that video, girl, I'm going to put that video.
No, the fuck he did not.
I'm going to put that video in there. If you can send me that video, girl, I'm going to put that video. I'm going to put that video out. No, the fuck you didn't. So I'm going to put that video out. No, the fuck you didn't. So, I mean, the advice that he gives women is just so not realistic, and how he condemns men as if he's like God's hero. Now, he seems like he's like a woman's hero in bed, but as far as the actual character of a man, I know he lacks that shit. Like, why don't you ever post your wife? Let me send this off, okay? And put your... Okay.
He can report it.
Yeah, don't worry about that. He can't report me. Okay? And put your... Okay.
He can report it.
Yeah, you are God's angel right now. You have no idea, okay? Because
if this child is anywhere close to correct,
he was selling lies. I knew that he was out here trying to pull a Steve Harvey and shit. You know what I'm saying?
She's right.
But
and he ain't got Steve Harvey money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, there it is. Okay, go ahead and load them receipts up for me, girl. I got you. Thank you.
And the receipts
Save
are coming.
my number. This is my personal number.
And the receipts are coming.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Hell has no fury.
Page because it'll have everything on there.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to put it public.
No. Just send it to me private.
Hell has no
DM.
fury.
No.
Okay.
All
Our people being
so
fleeced.
much.
Don't y'all say don't put God in this. God is all truth, okay? And when this young lady called to tell all the truth, so y'all wouldn't be wasting your money and be thinking he be knowing what he talking about, but he literally telling you about the guys in which not to date, because he's one of those sorry motherfuckers, okay? You gotta know one, or you gotta be one in order to know one.
Hey, yo, Mike,
you know
what's
what
happening?
Know one in order to be
Bruh.
one. But I'm telling you, that
This dude, Derrick Jaxn, you know who I'm talking about. We've had
Mr. Derrick,
moments.
I understand women have babies, they lose their shape. But I knew he wasn't really into his wife.
This is a hot
that
mess.
because he ain't never
This
posted.
is
Like I
a
said,
hot
I truly
mess.
believe the wife found out about something. I don't know if it's specifically about her, but I do know, okay, after that little Miami trip, 3 weeks later, he posted her right there on Instagram. He let the world know
I'm
who she
broadcasting
was.
pieces
The
of
white
other
prophet
broadcasts that
said,
just
I'm
come out
about
in
to
the past
leave you and take you for all your little coins
few
and shit
days
you making.
over
Marriage sells his brand.
this married
Okay? Relationship
guy,
sells his brand.
Derrick,
So if anything
whom
gets messy, he can't sell nothing
has
because
been
like he's not
accused
practicing what he
by
preaches. But you know
someone
what?
with
Y'all continue to
receipts.
listen to
I mean, they've got,
last night was a friend of mine. Love
you know, that
how you gonna let a hoe tell
you know,
how to be a lady?
yeah.
Marriage sells his brand, okay? Relationship sells his brand. So if anything gets messy,
You know,
he
and
can't sell nothing because like
you know,
he's not
that's
practicing what
another
he
portion
preaches.
of
Now there's another one out here on that
that's
fucking
another
end. When I
portion of
tell
where
you,
I'm at
when I
in
get
this
the
whole
wine, I'm motherfucking breaking the bottles of
this whole thing
everybody.
too,
It's
because
Jesus, it's me, and it's
because
the side
if
chicks, okay? But God, it's Jesus, it's me, and it's the side chicks, okay?
it's God,
it's
it's Jesus,
it's
it's me, and it's the side chicks,
okay? For
and
everybody.
And the thing here that really stands out the most, if nothing else, is that this young brother has been all out here really coming up. I mean, you know, he's established a lot of, you know, things, but, you know, to, you know, yeah, I believe, you know, I'm with you on that, King. You know, black women are turning on him because they left something for, you know, something else. But the mere fact that, you know, we've been in this new era of online, you know, life coaches and whatnot, you know, taking this Jim Jones kind of mentality where in a lot of cases, you know, people are out there, you know, following advice that's sound advice. It sounds good, only to find out that you know, that we can't even honor the message because the messenger is dirty. You know, I'm more concerned about the mere fact that, you know, like you said there, King, you know, they don't like the hypocrisy. I don't like the hypocrisy. I mean, you know, I've had times where I've gotten in my feelings about some things that this boy has went out there telling my children and our people and whatnot, how to be and this, that, and the other. And I just hoped that there was some genuine positivity to this. So when this came out like it's come out and it's left a lot of people in a state now where, like brother said, like brother King said right here, it's a fairy tale. They're, you know, now all of the good, positive things that could have possibly been noted are all now sliding out the window due to the mere fact that if this has any truth to it and he does not come with it, and I mean the whole coming to Jesus and showing not just respect for his wife, but for all the people involved that have receipts and whatnot too, as they claim, and then be able to stand in front of the court of his people, all the people who have taken and given and sent him God-earned money and everything else, just, you know, for his advice and things like that, you know. And, you know, anytime we lose one or two brothers, it's a loss for a lot of us, you know, regardless of which way they're at it. You know, there's room. And unfortunately, you know, you know, that right there, that's selling people a pipe dream while they're taking their money and running off to, you know, enjoy the fruits of their labor, you know, only to sit back. And I mean, I believe that this little woman, this lowly lady that's coming out with all of this is coming out due to the mere fact that all of this happened in July and they've known each other for 10 years. He didn't even come out into the whole full, let's get together, do the nasty, but he paid for all of this. Like he said earlier before, this dude has hosted people, brought her and her girlfriends down to Miami, you know, to party with him and his boys even knowing everybody is like, you know, starting to look messy, starting to stink. It's starting to get real funky in here as far as, you know, just a mere possibility that, you know, that this could be not just true, but the mere fact that not only do I feel for the wife, if in fact it is, because, she's, got to deal with the mere fact that, he did it in her bed, in their house, while she was gone, while he told her that they were in a almost separated mode, even though his own advice states that, a married man is never separated until he's divorced. And the same with women, so he said. And yet here he was banging, this girl that he's known for 10 years. He ain't been married for 4 years, so this is really irking me right now. To the point where I go and I sneak and I peek over at his page to see if there is any sign of damage control, because, come on, bruh. There might be a few brothers, that are honestly hoping that you can represent, even when you found you've had more than plenty enough times that you basically, threw brothers up under the bus in such a manner that, it almost did sound like you were preaching for coochie. And it's irking me. It's still irking me, because not only, and I'll give you that. I'll give you that. She did do it for her ego to a certain degree, but she also did it because of woman scorn. And I believe that she was just fine with everything until he cut her off and he blocked her off of all of his pages and tried to basically, just, cover it up, and if I shut it out or this, that, and the other. And what really hurts is, I got daughters, I've got kids, and there's nothing worse than you going, and if this is in fact true, you going and bringing some other woman up into your house, into the bed that you share with your wife, and having that while you're still preaching about how wrong that is. And yet, after all is said and done, you want to cover everything up and then kick her out. And you've known her for 10 years. And after 10 years, you totally block her and dismiss her and basically try to do your own personal damage control, while this poor woman is out there on Front Street right now. And she could rather be truthful or she could be a big lie. And right now, the reputation of that woman and a lot of other women who believe her, now it was even brought up, the fact that, she was somewhat in the wrong. And Tanya even mentioned how she couldn't even see how, a woman could have the audacity to be up in a man's house with all of this woman stuff up in there, wigs and all of this, and still be hot for him, when he's willing to do that. And there's still images of his wife. And hold on, probably didn't even change the sheets. Not just nasty, but nasty. What kind of respect would you have, for all of that, and I'm hoping that he can prove, how good of a man he is by the way that he handles this scandal, because it's a scandal and it's in his court right now. And everybody is going to be sitting and waiting in bated breath to see how he tries to dance his way in or out of this one. And they want to hear from who this woman is, and they want to hear from his wife. They want to know. We want receipts on him rather fixing it, or at least coming forward and being that. I mean, he's probably got a lot enough Christian followers enough for him to do the cry. I fell down. I'm trying to get up. Will you please forgive me? The flesh was weak. Yeah, okay. Some people will probably try to do that. But a lot of people right now, they're right now really hurt. They're hurt because, anytime that something like this affects brothers like him, it affects all of us, and, I'm not going to totally condemn him, but I'm not going to speak for the brother either. I want to see how he's going to come back from all of this, especially due to the mere fact that his livelihood is on the line, due to the mere fact that this brother is raking in dough. He's got people following him like Jim Jones, and if he can't come out And I mean, if he can't come out and do exactly like Bro said, if you can't come out and totally apologize, first off, you owe everybody an apology, period. Rather it's true or not, just at the mere fact that you basically allowed something so messy to actually be out to a certain point, you know? And that in itself was really on my mind, you know? And then old girl doing what she did, you know, like you said, old girl doing what she did from the door after being, you know, another woman's house in the whole nine. Don't really doggone paint a pretty picture, but we can understand because, you know, we didn't follow that same kind of advice that he gave when he gave that advice about if you're separated, you know, and this, that, and the other, then, you know, if you ain't divorced, then you're cheating, you know, and if that be anywhere close to the truth, you know, and I think the bottom line is exactly what my man is saying right here. The bottom line is just the mere fact that everybody wants him to show up with some accountability. It's been 2 days. They've been out here roasting your butt for now 2 days, waiting for you to be accountable. And, you know, and then looking at the progression of a lot of the other posts that surround around that era and time that this little poor child has been trying to out him about, you know, is really suspect. And the mere fact that if homie can be doing what he was doing and still saying what he was saying, that just makes it even worse, man. You'd never be able to look at this dude the same way if, in fact, any of this is close to the truth, you know? And she needed to blow up the spot. I mean, I would have rather him being able to actually come out in a manner where, you know, he could have fixed everything and they could have at least salvaged something by way of being poly and productive and out and honest, but that ain't even his style, you know? I mean, the only thing that could be worse than that is this turning out to be some Eddie Long stuff, you know, all buffed and this, that, and the other. No, I ain't so. I got one rock to throw, this, that, and the other, you know. Before he does anything else, before he posts anything else, if he don't come back with the heat, and I mean the spiritual heat, you know, from this whole thing, then, yo, I'm telling you, we roasting him because you know what? You know, you bad for our people. You're bad for our culture. You're bad for the few people. It's bad enough that black folks as a whole used to be the highest population, the top population in this country, you know, of committed relationships and a supportive community. And we've gone from that and just the late 50s to the early 60s to being the lowest today, you know? And yeah, you know, even if, you know, that's true and he might be right now thinking about some legal strategy, you know, the funny part about it is, you know, when, you know, if it's even to the point where he has to do that, then trust and believe he also has to be listening to all of us right now too. Because see, ain't no lawyer going to be able to help you with anything other, and you're not going to be able to sue somebody to shut up about something that you did between their legs and your, you know, in the same bed that you and your wife sleep in, that you having issues and problems with at the moment in time either. I'm sorry. You know, even if you could legally get away with parts and parts of that, you know, God don't like ugly, you know, and like old girl said, you know, like old girl said, you know, how did she say it? Let me find it. You know, how she said, you know,
God, it's Jesus, it's me, and it's the side chicks, okay? For everybody.
You know, it's really just like that. I mean, you know, and man, you know, it's irking me. It's irking me right now. It's irking me right now because I want to believe the best for the brother because he's done so much to get where he's at, but a fool and his money, you know, is just about as bad as a man and his penis, you know, and somehow, like, you know, the more exposure you get to more interesting diversions, the more your faith, your convictions come into play. And, you know, this ain't the old days when people could get away with, you know, don't do as I do, do as I say. Nah, these people really honestly want to believe that the things that you try to tell them are the things that work because you're doing it, you know? And it's not the divorce that's coming that has anything to do with all of this, because regardless of any of this other stuff, the way that all of this is possibly forming on this, doesn't even save him if in fact he does decide to deal with, the whole experience of divorce in itself. It still takes away from your character. I'm sorry. Anybody that sits in front of the doggone the Lord and takes these vows, to death you part and this, that, and the other, and then punk out. I'm sorry. I don't care how many of y'all that want to say this, that, and the other. That's the reason why many of us don't really jump the broom ever so quickly, is because we have a fear in God. We have a conviction and being a better example of what it is that we believe we support in God's words or whatnot. If you get that deep into religion, and what gets me is that part too. Not only is he slandering this child, if it's true, but the fact that his wife right now is having to deal with the mere fact that in our bed, did you even change the sheets? Damn, my stuff was in there. She might have been using my products. What if I just, that's an invasion. To sit back and think about the way that these things were confessed, the way that these things would move on really irks me, because see, we could talk about how bad things were and how this, that, and the other, and how women always say we dogs and this, that, and the other. And we all have our fair share of, of dirt that we do. But, in this realm now, when you put yourself out on Front Street, you put yourself out there to show and prove. And you've got a lot of showing and proving that is due, whether you like it or not. You just can't come out and all of a sudden decide to have a talk about, let's talk about nutrition today, when everybody else is going, hey, what about your wife? What about this, that, and the other? Ain't you gonna say something about that? I mean, they ain't even a PR firm for, that's worth, trying to help you with all of this, because nobody helped you help yourself to this woman in your wife's bed and your bed in your house, if in fact it's true, and the child didn't sound like she was just doing this because she was a victim and wanted to really just screw up his thing. She really felt hurt. She felt hurt that she got blocked. She got ignored, that this same person who she basically just ignored his post on not having sex until you're divorced kind of thing, with that separation thing, while he was banging old girl, who was like, damn, I like you. You fine. You eat coochie good, but you are a hypocrite, and we can't keep letting these things slide, and we can't keep thinking that, that this doesn't bother or affect us, because just like all of the few kind of times that we would hold on to the images like the Cosby Show and, and Good Times and whatnot, when all of a sudden something happened, like, this is like, dude had built the Cosby Show and now he turns back around and he ends up Bill Cosby on trial. And it just soils the whole ability for you to go back and see the whole series with any kind of positive light, regardless of the artistry involved, and, yeah, I'm hoping that the young man, is not going to lose, his man card, because the only way he's going to keep it at this point is if he comes with the heat. And what I mean is he comes with that surefire church, Lord, this, that, and the other, and the answers. It better be fixed. Everything else better be fixed. And that poor child who said this, before you try to crucify her, if there's any bit of truth to all of this, you owe her and all these other people that may be, alleged, a bigger apology than you owe your wife. As you are preaching how you're supposed to be so honorable, and it's 2 days. This is 2 days. 2 days for a person who's putting out multiple posts a day and then all of a sudden stop as this doggone information starts coming out. It's suspect. I'm hoping, I'm sending out positive energy to give the brother somewhat more of an ounce, iota of energy enough to put his stuff together and come out and rather bring the heat in a respectful manner for all the people involved and not come out like, oh man, that ain't nothing, this, that, and the other. You're lost because ain't no bees and hoes out in here. Anybody that you dealt with, you respected enough to get in between their legs. You need to respect enough to doggone deal with the mere fact that these people have feelings and emotions, and there's lots of other people who followed you and believe that. There were people who decided, I'm separated and I feel kind of awkward about this because even though we're separated, and I really got needs, is it bad, that I go to see somebody else and he said, you're cheating, and they would stop. And for that reason, there's some people that have been affected in their lives due to the mere fact that the same thing that you told them not to do, you did while you were telling them not to. And I'm really, really hoping that this dude who's earned enough haters on his own for a lot of the subjects that he was saying, and I mean, truly, honestly, there was a time that I liked some of this stuff, but there was other times that I really honestly believed that this dude was preaching for coochie, literally, and looking at the young boy, and as he start blowing up, and now all of a sudden he's even more He-Man and this, that, and the other, but no image, no strength that you think you got right now is going to save you from the image that you could lose and are losing daily, minutely, hourly, as you do not approach or you do not reach your people and everybody and make it so crystal clear, so hot, so genuinely, strategically, and on damage control that even TMZ picks you up at, whoa, man, I applaud this dude. He came back with the heat, and it's good to see. We're going to follow him and his wife and, his girlfriend and his side pieces and his boys in Miami and all this as they get through this moment in time where drama has come to their door. Drama has laid in their bed, In the meantime, there's a whole lot of people, they're going to have a bigger issue, they're going to have a lot of people. They're going to have a bigger issue, with the mere fact that there ain't going to be that many more brothers that they're going to follow like them. Half of these women followed him just because, and he just keep getting sexy and this, that, and the other. And he's always doggone broadcasting from the car. And girl, if I was in there now, I know it's big. Ooh, the eggplant. Ooh, the this, that, and the other. Yeah, all of that means a hill of beans right now, bro. Yeah, there'll be a lot of people willing to come back and get a piece of that, no matter how you're going to deal with it, and yeah, you're right. There's a lot of us that said the same thing, homie out there, the eggplant got the best of you, and now you done messed up your doggone brand. There's some people right now probably sitting back there going, if this is true, I'm ready to hit, return my money. I was going to buy something. I was going to send something for you. By the way, this is WNDC, NDC. It means we in the crib and you ain't. And if anything that I'm doing or saying right now, rather entertains, enlightens, or informs you at any given moment, please understand that I do have a Cash App. It is posted out there. And due to the whole COVID situation, I'm not working, and I'm not begging either. But nothing says thank you like cash. And speaking of all of that, bro has grown to a certain point where he's not just trying to, get a couple of things so he can get something to eat or a pack of smokes or, something like that, or maybe even pay a bill. Bro has been out there, paying for people to fly, taking care of people out there balling in Miami and Atlanta and things like that. And if any of these things are true, A lot of people who basically sent their money are now going to be really up in their feelings about the mere fact that, that you spent their money on some hypocritical stuff that really is part of the reason why a lot of us left these churches, because of the same thing going on with them. And now we are trying to play that same game online. And, as people of color, we owe our people a better doggone image, a more responsible kind of thing. There's whatever happens in the dark will come to the light. And even if you think you might get lucky enough for it to slide, it don't matter. If you ain't prepared to handle some kind of form or fashion of, I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, and now I see, fine. That's good if you can sell it correctly. But if you can't walk the walk and talk the talk, and right now, bruh ain't saying nothing. And it's irking me. It's irking everyone else, because everybody else is starting to trend on, where's Derrick? Where's he doing? What's up with his wife? Why is this chick doing this? Who is this chick? She's really honestly sitting back hurt, because if she's anywhere close to the truth, none of this would probably have come out today had he not blocked her, had he not thrown her off, had he just kind of, basically treated her like a used condom. Our women deserve better than that. Our men deserve better than to be blamed for people like you. If this is what you, Mr. Derrick, has really been into, yeah, man, I'm really irked right now, because, here I am trying to just get into this game. Here I am trying to just get out and try to maybe possibly achieve some of the popularity that so many of these other people out here are really in the game. Tanya, I remember Tanya back when we would, half the time I'd sit back there. I remember times that I would be one of the few people keeping her company in her broadcast way before TKO became this, the other chick that was out there that was the one that basically broke the story and the whole nine, didn't know a lot of these people. There's lots of people that would love to be in the places they would like to have an iota of the things that people like this dude Derrick has grown to not only get, but to manipulate, to use, to it's easier when we can, as people of color, look at white folks and say, see. But when it's our people, it's twice as doggone insulting, because you're doing it to your own people. You're doing it to your children. You're doing it to your parents. You're doing it to your race. You're doing it to your bloodline. You're doing it to your faith. And if you can't find a way of fixing that, because the same situation that you're in, a lot of other people are in right now too. And if you can't show them how to fix it, like you need to fix your own right now, then bruh, don't make another video. Don't do nothing. Just sign off, get rid of everything, and go home and fix your shit at home. And don't do nothing. I'd rather you disappear and come back. I'd rather you disappear and come back a year from now in better shape and your own family dynamic, and then give us a response on how it took you having to get out and go home and get your damage control and then come back. You can build back your brand if you fix it. But right now, bro, 2 days for a person who's been broadcasting daily, And so I'm really irked right now, because I want to see this brother be great again. I'm not really a fan of, the majority of his greatness. And I'm really, I ain't really got no dog in this fight outside of the mere fact that this is my people. This is our craft. This is life. And if you're going to be a life coach, then you better bring not just the positive notes of what you should do, but also bring the how to be respectful at fixing damage control, fixing what's broken without breaking other people worse, just for you to basically get out of whatever it is. If I was his wife, I'm pretty sure that conversation would have come up. Is it true? Is it true, Derrick? Is it true? Did you even change the sheets? Did she Did she use my bathroom? The bathroom that I got all my stuff in? When I was gone, when I came back home? Oh, I can't even stand the mere fact that, none of this happened. None of this stuff. What happened? It's Derrick. It's March. All this time, you never came to me and said, look, babe, I had this moment around my birthday time and 4th of July, this, that, and the other, me and the boys, my old girl and my girlfriend, what is, just a friend, you got what I need, but it was just a friend for 10 years until you basically slid her in your crib and put her in your wife's bed, unless, all of that is a farce, unless it's true. We can go back and understand that, even if it ain't true. You better handle this respectfully with these people, because this child has already proven that she's been a friend of yours for 10 years, a platonic friend. And so how do you fix a 10-year friendship, a 10-year platonic friendship, with a respectful sister, enough to not damage her or the friendship that you may have to go back into platonically, Oh, I wish you could. I'm gonna tell you right now. I see all these other broadcasts and people donate and share and subscribe and like and all of that. And I've been trying at this for a nice little bit. I ain't got it right. I don't even know if I'm doing it right now. But if any of you can, help assist and show some love, throw a brother crumb or two or something like that. I appreciate you for it, but I appreciate even more better if, this word can get out to the person involved, because I believe that young man deserves to be given the chance to basically fix whatever seems to have been broken, and the mere fact that it's now out. It's not that you have to just protect your name because you're still trying to get your likes and your shares and your donations now, but the mere fact that we have times and dates of just these people. Now it brings up the ability for a lot of these other people, like the doctor chick out in California who said that she was made to have an abortion. Now we're not going to just shrug that off as, oh, that was one of them. Yeah. They just trying to come up on you, dog. Don't even worry about that, man. We don't even see you like that. I don't think that you're the kind of person that would threaten a woman, to have an abortion when she's a doctor. It's not like she can't afford a freaking child. It's just that, you couldn't afford to have a illegitimate something or another out there. You ain't been married for 4 years. So technically speaking, you've been preaching this whole honor game a lot longer than that. And yet here we are, And so, yeah, she felt that in some ways it might have been platonic, but it's never platonic. He's even had moments and times where we've talked about how, committed people can have these flirtatious kind of so-called platonic things just because they haven't consummated, the act. They probably, roughed off a few with the images of them in their head, enough that it could be assumed, a simple form of emotional cheating or whatnot. I agree, but 10 years, he's known her longer than he's known his wife, if that is anywhere close to truth, yeah. That's it right there. That's me. They found it. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, 10 years flirting friendship. Hey, what kind of panties you got on? Now, we realize, yeah, he's a joke a whole lot about. That's his whole kink. What kind of panties you got on? No wonder he's a doggone champion coochie eater. That's his kink. Okay. I ain't hating on your kink, bro. I'm hating on your game. I'm hating on the mere fact that you sitting back right now, 2 days later, watching all of us sit back and broadcast all of this. What about Derrick? Oh, man, you hear about that dude, Derrick? Yeah, the dude hater, the one that been going around there having women do and all of them. Yeah. This mofo, man, is doggone. Yo, he doing his own wife dirty, and he's doing the chick that he was with dirty. And now it makes us even more suspect of how many other people you've been doing dirty. How many chicks have you been doing dirty? Have you been doing dudes dirty too? You done got awfully buff. You look like you'd really have a lot of great fun in a doggone gay bar too. We ain't gonna get that deep into this right now. Right now, we want you to come back and doggone shine. We want you to come back and explain to your people You know, the same way you ain't Mr. Cuomo. You ain't the doggone the guy that can get around with just slightly doing this. What you just did, what you're being assumed of. If Mr. Cuomo, you know, had somebody that came back and said, oh, we had sex in him and his wife's bed, you best believe she would make sure that he wouldn't go there no more. So what do you think you're going to be if this is anywhere close to true? So, this is really getting me, man. It's really irking me, man, because this is our people. This is our environment. This is, the whole thing about, in the process of all of that, I think, like even the background music is even explaining, watching this bruh come from, just being on a cell phone in a car, trying to say some good things and blowing up to a point where he's a brand. And, he's got loot. I mean, this dude is like flashing all of these hard-earned ducats that all these people have thrown at him for his wonderful advice that they followed and, on bated breath, only for him to be stuck right now on Front Street. Unheard of. And that irks me right now. And, I've taken up time in my day that I should be out there trying to grab groceries and get into the sunlight and the whole nine, because this has been irking me for the past couple of days. And some change that, oh, word, that dude, really? And you sitting back there, you watching this chick, and she's throwing out this stuff, and then you can hear this other woman's voice, and you can tell that there's something not right with the mere fact that they ain't making this stuff. But the person that she gave the information to, oh, she's looking for you. She's looking for you. She's looking for you so much right now, that she even said it. And I mean, she said it.
It's Jesus, it's me, and it's the side chicks, okay? For everybody.
Everybody.
God, it's Jesus, it's me, and it's the side chicks, okay? For everybody.
And bruh, if you ain't bringing it to be slinging it, then don't you ever show back up on this doggone realm again. Don't you ever think that you can show your face right now. Unless you have more, then, oh, man, it's, more money, more problems. No, we want to see it all right now. Because, bruh, every damn dollar is round this margin call. For everything that you basically think that you've been rewarded from people that are in this market that have the audacity to basically reach out and donate and support you and follow and share and all of this other stuff like that. Every last dime, every last minute, every last like, share, and subscribe right now stands on bated breath waiting for you to fix it or figure out how you're going to basically make this right by them. Because your brand is your marriage. Your brand is your relationship. Your brand is your word. And if anything that these people are putting out right now has anything to do with the truth, bruh, man, I don't think y'all seem to understand, man. I'm really irked about this because, see, I would love more than anything else to be in a place where he's been. I'd love that. I'd love to be in that place enough that if there was anything that I could have possibly changed, it would have at least been the audacity to not put out that doggone video about if you're separated, what do you do? If you're separated and you still have sex with somebody else, then you cheating. That in itself is really, at the mere fact, especially being that this chick is talking about how she felt some kind of way, but still, if the dude wasn't so good in bed, she'd have had a little extra problem with the mere fact that, here's this doggone dude, has got me up in his bed, that he sleep in with his wife that he say that they separated. She up in Ohio with the kids and whatnot, nah, yeah, I believe that. If dude can get out of this mess, his followers are going to look stupid. His haters are going to look stupid. And he's going to basically probably level up. And for a few of us, not because we like him, but because we just hope that there can be at least some male positive image capable of being able to come back, do damage control in a respectful enough manner where it hurts nobody. He don't sit back and say, oh man, she just some bitch. And so on, so on. No, bro. We don't want you doggone slandering nobody. No dudes like you've been doing to a lot of us who've been watching you, preach, for the coochie, and none of these women that you've been basically leading astray, manipulating, using, and doing all the things that you basically would claim sisters don't deserve to be done by any man within his own standings of respectful. And it's just irking me, bro. It's irking me so much that I need to get on out of here, man. I think I've got it off my chest enough, and he's smart. He might take some of the words that I'm sharing and some of the other people are putting out there. Even Tanya TKO would not confirm nor deny the possibility that this could just be rumors or gossip, and yet she too is still waiting for you to come back and do what you're supposed to do, dog. If you got any doggone fortitude and that little buffed up body of yours, then you'll fix it, or you'll find a way of at least coming clean enough that we can respect what little bit of manhood is left in this whole facade of this thing that you been getting a little too big about. There's a lot of people ain't even talking about how much your pocket's been getting fat while we all sitting out here doing this, not just because we would love to have some donations, but we also doing this because we would love to be a credit to our race, a credit to the people out there, to give positive, good information, even if half of us are just slightly raggedy or ghetto or anything else of that nature, enough that, okay, we'll just deal with those people because they like me, and we'll just do that. I can't fix everything. I can't be, that to everybody else. I'm not trying to be the Pope, but our people deserve better, and yeah, if he don't fix it, I believe his career should be over until he fixes it. I don't think that it'll ever be over. I mean, but that really honestly depends on, the fortitude, and his ability to actually be able to, come back honorably and explain to people how you fix it. How do you make it right when everything looks like it's wrong? Where you at, bro? There. Wake your ass up. Come out here and handle your business. This is WNDC. NDC. WNDC stands for We in the Crib and You Ain't. NDC and my crib. And from my crib to wherever you at, wherever your wife's at, wherever that woman and all the other women who basically accusing you of some things are at, fix it. Because, bruh, I'm irked. As your daddy, as your granddaddy, as your grand uncle, as your coach, as your preacher, as your little brother, as your mother. I'm irked. And if you don't fix that irk, we gonna roast you. And I would hate to see such a beautiful, fine specimen of a big black bull getting roasted like we gonna roast you if you can't handle your business, because you in a big league now and we just little bitty people. And if I had the ability to replace where you're at, I'd take it. And I can guarantee you I wouldn't wait no 2 days, to watch everybody else sitting around there and roast me with the innuendos. You'd hear it directly from me. So maybe once I get off of here, we'll find it. Maybe not. Maybe. I doubt it. Because there's a whole lot of people. You're right. There's a lot of people right now in his fan base that are hurt because they don't know what to want to believe. They don't want to just basically throw the whole baby out with the bathwater, but they don't want to try to act like some Jim Jones stuff and go ahead and just take the Kool-Aid. Bruh. We owe each other. We owe our people. We owe the format that we live on. We own the craft into which we're trying to perfect. You know, you can't be no life coach with raggedy ass life trying to tell people what to do, even though you can't live it the way you are. That's not logical. Come on, man. It's irking me because here I am sitting back on Front Street on the cheap seats. I ain't getting no donations. I ain't getting no sponsors. I ain't got no brand to be out there with. I ain't sitting around there trying to fly people in and gain all this stuff. I'm not even married. But bruh, like old girl said,
God, it's Jesus, it's me, and it's the side chicks, okay? For everybody.
oh, that's what it is, man. That's what it is.
God, it's Jesus, it's me, and it's the side chicks, okay? For everybody.
Oh, everybody is watching. If you wasn't famous then, you're going to be famous now. What you going to do? Barbecue? Meal do. This is Alpha Master Pimp Sir Easy, active dominant in the BDSM realm, as well as, shaman and a few other things. And I'm hoping that your life gets better before it gets worse. But only you can fix it. Fix it.